Alright, Vidcon, that happened. It was actually pretty good. It was a lot of learning this time, and there was a lot of just seeing people, but it was kind of like what was happening throughout the whole convention, like day by day, and there was a lot of things I learned from the panels. And it wasn't that bad, it wasn't too hot. One of the first things I did is just walk around. I got there kind of early, and I was just like, I don't know, let's walk around and see if I know anyone, and just to check out what they have in the expo hall that year, because you never know what you may run into there. And then I got to a point where I kind of had enough of this, kind of like capturing B-roll and stuff, and it's like, I'm gonna go. One of the panels that I wanted to see the most was both of Roberto Blake's panels, because he's really good. He's online, and I wanted to see him in person and just see what he has to talk about. So at the beginning of the panel, he started talking about view validation, talking about how everyone is looking at the numbers and seeing how it validates them.
It's important to grow in YouTube to get views and to get subscribers and watch time and brand deals and all these things. But at the end of the day, if you're making something that you're not even happy with, then what was the point?
He also started talking about how we think it's very saturated in a lot of people, and how our content doesn't matter, like how we feel like some people or some of the content creators say our content doesn't matter. But he tells you it does.
Your creativity, your vision, what you want to make into the world matters. Whether 10 people watch it, whether a room full of 800 people watch it, there are YouTubers that if the number of people in this room right now, if you look around, if this was their view count on a video, they would cry themselves to sleep at night.
He also just goes on about how your content can impact others, how the different ways it can do that and help other people, because you never know, even one person that may watch the video, or very few people, it could still impact them, and you'll never know. You'll absolutely never know, because they may not ever say it.
What matters is how that content impacted you. Did it entertain you? Did it inform you? Did it inspire you? Did it make some kind of difference for you? Or did you feel like it was a good use of that 5 minutes that you spent watching this cat bat a ball around?
He also mentions some people, some unique voices. If there was too full, we'd have no space for unique voices. And he's talking about all these unique voices, you have one, other people, you just have to figure out what it is.
YouTube is not saturated, not with unique voices, not with quality. If it was, it would be an embarrassment of riches. We're not there yet.
And everyone always kind of forgets this, doesn't remember this, so everyone starts from zero.
They still initially had zero at some point on some platform, at some place. Everyone was an unknown.
And then also you just have to determine what is success for you online, and it doesn't have to be the numbers and stuff.
What are you trying to do? Prepare for that, set up for that. And to do that, you might have to ignore some of the quote-unquote tried and true rules of YouTube, because you're not everybody else. You're not every creator on the platform. You're not Casey Neistat. Love you, Casey.
After that, I went to some more panels, kind of walking around, trying to keep myself from my feet hurting, because if I stop moving, it starts hurting. Then once when the day kind of wrapped up, I didn't really have any plans, and I was kind of hoping this would happen, where I would end up hey, are you around? Let's meet up. An old friend from YouTube, Christian, he reached out, because I think I reached out to someone else, and they were there at the convention, and I was oh, he texted me, he's oh, okay, sure. I hung out with them all the night. I went home super late, and I wanted to be back the next day at 9 or something in the morning, and I was up till 1 a.m. because we were just hanging out talking. I really like those moments where you are with friends and you're together with them. Sorry, I was gonna burp. Yeah, but hanging out with the friends, meeting people that they know, and just talking about different things. I always like when that happens, particularly when Christian, because there's a thing he does every year. It's really funny. It's the LobbyCon he tries to get going, and this year it did not happen. Alright, so day 2, I was just kind of got there a little bit later. I missed maybe one panel. After that, I started moving around, and there was a panel of thumbnails, and basically talking about, you've all seen this, the YouTube face, the YouTube
free Shavakadu.
You've seen that type of stuff. It's talking about how faces on thumbnails really help sell it, and there's different types of thumbnails for different types of content. Kids different types of thumbnails for videos. It was very fascinating. And then after that, I went to a skater panel. I forgot his name, but this guy is really good, and he was talking about you got to figure out what your passion is. A lot of people give up too easy, and it's just you just have to get through it.
And they don't have that passion that's going to make them do it no matter what. The idea of a starving artist, like, we are done with that. You guys are artists and you eat good. Right? Can everybody agree with that? Like, no more starving artists, like, ending that.
He starts talking about like goals and like how what you should be doing to like grow. Like, don't think short term, but think long term.
So it's important for you guys to get a massive goal long term. Very, very, very important that is long term. It's not what you're doing this week. It's not what you're doing. It's what you're doing long term. And that's how you need to think with it.
Then day 3 came and I went to this one panel, and the funny thing is, one of my friends a few days ago told me like, oh, this guy's going to Vidcon, someone he knows in like Smash Brother gaming community. And I see him, his name's I'm Hip, and I was like, wait, I've met him before, but I was like, hey, I know you. And he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, hey. And so it's just so funny how you end up running into people, like mutual friend of some other friend. And the panel was about like the path, the story of Pamplemousse, and it was the whole journey about a lot of different like duds in life that they had, and eventually like there's these blips of like good, of like not duds happening.
It was a different kind of spike. It was a spike, and then people kind of stuck around. We were getting like a couple thousand views a month, and it felt exciting.
One thing about the story of Pamplemousse is they talked about how they made this one video that was, it went viral. It was a Beyonce All the Singles Ladies song, I believe, and how they were having when they went to go play at a restaurant and no one showed up for them. And then after they made the video, people showed up.
We played a show in San Francisco and 40 people showed up. Let me tell you, 40 people is so much better than no people.
Days later, like instead of going from 0 of anyone showing up to hundreds of people going to see them play at this laundromat slash like cafe. It was very weird.
And 2 weeks later, when we showed up to this laundromat that held 40 people, there were like 150 people inside. And there were another like 150 or 200 people outside. And literally I was playing keyboard like this, and there were people like right and it was so awesome. The most energetic, that was such an amazing moment where we really like, oh my God, we made something, and it's like resonating with people.
He then talked about like selling out and how he sees like the real thing of selling out is actually different from what most people think.
A lot of people, I think, view this as Pamplemousse selling out. I have the opposite reaction. I'm a little biased because I got the money, but I have an opposite reaction. For me, selling out is not making your art anymore. Selling out is quitting. Selling out is when you decide, no, I'm not going to do this thing that I'm passionate about. Instead, I'm going to do something else. That's selling out. Getting paid to make your art and to build your business and to improve the quality of your work and to improve the frequency of your work and to invest in yourself as an artist so you can make your art better and learn more and grow. That's the opposite of selling out.
He then goes on to talk about all his like fail ideas, and he had so many ideas. He was into like animation, and he was into music, and like the stop motion animation, and like so many different things this guy's done.
But Pamplemousse is one thing, like in a sea of duds, in a sea of failed ideas and projects. Pamplemousse was one thing that worked. On top of that, everything that we did after like finding Pamplemousse also kept not working.
They talked about how they thought like, oh, this one blip in life, like, oh, they thought they peaked, and like, what are they gonna do after this? But it's actually just a small part of your curve going up. It's like the small dip, and then as you continue going up, and a lot of people think like that's there, oh, we're going down, there's nothing better up from here.
It still feels like a dud. It's almost a little bit worse because, you know, you at least here you're like, oh, my future's ahead of me. But if you make something that like, works and then things not working, like, oh, peaked! It's like this awful feeling.
Remember, there's so much more you can do, and you have to just pivot in that moment to figure out what like to do on and continue going on. And like it also just shows how much of a character you can get through that, I guess.
So I thought a lot about how to deal with these ups and downs. Some people call it grit. I think of it as smoothing out my emotional curve.
In the video, he talks about this thing called emotional curve, which I really liked. It resonated a lot with me because there was like a change. He was like less emotional, more logical, I guess, or like separating the emotion from the action, I guess. Or, I don't explain it, but you listen to like what he said.
So if you think this is your day-to-day ups and downs, humans are typically terrible at dealing with this moment right here. The moment when everything starts to go south. The second it starts to turn south, we all just freak out. So if this is my trajectory as a musician, I found it very helpful for me personally to think of it as smoothing out my curve so I can ride the long term instead of the day-to-day freakouts.
He had to stop and compose himself and like welcome the new dud to this line of duds he's had throughout his life, and to think logical about it and not let like his feelings overcome him, and think like, hey, you'll be all right, we're gonna get through this, there's something else that will always come, and there's something we can always try and experiment more to do.
So when I get to this moment now and my idea flops, and that's when I stop and try to zoom out. I welcome the dud to the new club and all the accompanying feelings, and I try to trust logic instead of adrenaline. I'm not great at doing this. I'm up here talking about it. I'm okay at this. I'm not great at it. I'm getting better.
And this one part he eventually gets to that's like very important, and it's like the thing between how artists are working to do stuff, and the like a lot of artists get like super low amount of what they're getting for or making to make their art and stuff. And he calls it a certain thing.
The joy and the happiness and the love and the passion and the value that we all get from artists. The difference between that and then the dollars that are returned back to artists. That huge delta is what I call the discrepancy.
He then moves on to this next blip, this good blip in his life that was, it really is helping so many people, that thing, and he'll tell you what it is. It's honestly, it's something that I use to help other people as well.
I released this video on YouTube, and at the end of it, I said, hey everybody, I'm trying this thing called Patreon. I think it can help a lot of people. Join me. Within 2 weeks of launching this video and telling people about this, when we launched Patreon, I was making over $5,000 per month for my fans.
In this moment, it was about the time where his life was turning right side up. He really like started thinking like, wait, this is really helping a lot of people, and it's helping him to create things to help other people, to make things either feel something or entertain them or teach them, or just really cool something that he made.
And the $5,000 from my patrons and the $5,000 from this guitar pedal company paid for the video in like a month. And it was like my whole world like turned right side up in this moment. It was such an incredible demonstration of what patronage meant and the impact of that. I still get excited thinking about that. It was such a special time.
He then goes talking about like how many people they're helping currently, and it's so many people.
This year alone, Patreon's going to send $300 million to creative people around the world. All this feels awesome, and I'm super proud of it, and I feel so excited about Patreon. And I also want to remind everybody, it's one thing. It's the second thing that I did that worked, and everything else flopped. And not only that, since Patreon, everything else I've done since then has also flopped.
He then goes to say that you can't see these green blips, these good parts coming in life. You have to keep going, through. And he mentions this one quote from someone.
Greg LeMond, who's a famous cyclist, has a wonderful quote that I just love, and it applies to cycling, but I think it applies to being a video creator, any sort of creative person. He said, it doesn't get any easier, you just get faster. And I think being a creator is just like that. You build your skills, and you get better at making videos, you get better at storytelling, you get better at audio editing, you get better at reaching people, and But I think what folks don't realize is it doesn't get any easier. You keep making duds and they keep flopping, and you have to still deal with that. That's just part of being a creative person. So, don't give up. Don't give up.
Yes, you're gonna get more efficient at things, get better at doing things, and he says it doesn't get any easier. And I mean, maybe it's because I don't know the experience of, like, is that completely true? But I kind of think it's not always gonna be that hard. You could have other people help you to make the things better that you have, and they'll take on a role, and it will help make it easier on you, and it'll be a shared, like when you have a group of people going to pay for a hotel and you go together, or Airbnb, that group makes it easier for everyone else because you're each pitching in a certain amount of money for everyone. So it's kind of how I think about it. But I understand what he's saying. Then at the end of it, that was the last day. Basically, for the creators, they had free food to give, and I was just in the right place at the right time. So I was getting food pretty, like, first in line almost, like within the first 20. It was really good. I was like, that's some of the best parts. Not just the panels, but more of the people and the people you interact with and you see. And like, I wish I had, like, where I'm at, more people around me that like similar lifestyles that understand the creative life and things. And sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes it has highs, it has lows, but like, if you have other people that understand with you to help you, like, collaborate and make things together, that really helps. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And click that bell notification if you know how to do that. You could get, what's it called? Those notifications when I get new videos. I try to aim for 1 video a week, and I'm trying to think of some easier things, maybe like a YouTube live stream or something easier that I could talk to, something like thoughts from my mind really quick. But that's just like something I'm thinking about. So tell me, how'd you like this video? It was something to try and a little different. So yeah, I'm gonna go. See you guys. It is late, and I got things to edit. I'm behind and stuff. So, all right, I'll see you guys. Bye.